Good afternoon. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you're new to the channel, please hit the notification bell. And today, we have ourselves a quality check with the Model 3. So without further ado, let's get right to it. So all right, we have ourselves a quality check with the Model 3. And a quality check is basically going to be looking at the panels, seeing the size of the gaps, and at the end, we're either going to give it a pass or a fail. So without further ado, let's get right to it. All right, so let's first off start by looking at the left side of this Model 3. You want to look at the quarter panel, the fender, and looking at the hood, and then looking at the bumper. Sitting over onto the right side. And these are the latest builds coming out of the Fremont factory. And this comes with the upgraded wheels. Now taking a look at the driver's side door, and this gap is nice and tight, and that's what we want to see. Now taking a look at the interior. This is just plastic to cover it, and it peels off. And they normally come with the plastic covers. And let's take a look over here. So this gap over here is not that bad. I do wish it was a little bit tighter, but it's not that bad. Let's take a look at the rear. Lights, see if it's flush, and it's flush. And this is the dual motor. As many of you may know, the dual motor is no longer available from Tesla. So I guess the value of this dual motor is going up. Now let's take a look at the right side. Let's take a look at the left side here. Take a look at the wheels. Let's take a look over here. Now let's take a look at the left side door. And I definitely will be giving this Model 3 a pass. Now let's move on to another Model 3. So all right, we have another Model 3. And this is the black Model 3. Taking a look at the left side, this also has the upgraded wheels. Remember, if you're getting the black, the best thing probably for you to get is paint protection film. It'll protect it from swirl marks, light scratches, and even minor accidents. So order yourself some paint protection film. That should be the first upgrade that you get on your vehicle. Now taking a look at the left side, taking a look at the hood, taking a look at the bumper. The gaps look even, everything looks great. Now moving on to the right side. Now let's check the door over here, the driver's side door. Now let's take a look at the interior. See if it's flush, and it is flush. Doors are flush, and that's what we want to see. Gap's nice and tight. This gap, do wish it was a little bit tighter. Let me actually measure this gap to see how big it is. Let's put it on millimeters here. And all measurements are in millimeters. All right, so let's clear that back to 0 there. And yeah, okay. So let's measure that gap. Oh, hold on. Having a little bit of an issue, but there we go. So this gap right here, it's a little bit, about 4 millimeters, which isn't bad, but Tesla does consider 3 millimeters to be within spec, and it's not that bad. So let's look over here on the right side. Well, let's measure this gap over here. It does seem a little bit big. Oh, definitely have a big gap over here. It's 5 millimeters. So definitely have ourselves an issue with this gap. And this door is poking out. All right, so yeah, this Model 3 is a fail. Now let's move on to our final Model 3 for the evening. All right, so this is our final Model 3 for the evening. Let's take a look at the left side. This happens to be the gray with the white interior and the aero wheels. So the front looks fine. The fender, the hood and the bumper, and to the right side. Now let's take a look over here. That's fine. Now let's take a look over here. Driver's side door does seem a little bit big. Let's check this gap over here. Okay, this driver's side door gap weighs in at about 5 millimeters, which is definitely too big for our liking. Remember, Tesla considers 3 millimeters within spec. So make sure that the gap is no bigger than 3 millimeters, I mean. Now let's check this size of this gap over here. Okay, and we have 5 millimeters. So this gap is definitely too big. I do find that the Model 3 is built better than the Model Y, but it seems like these builds are having a little bit issues with these gaps located on the rear here. Normally you don't find this problem. So let's see how big this gap is. And this gap measures at 4 millimeters. All right, so unfortunately, I won't be able to pass this Model 3. It gets a fail. Remember, if you're taking delivery of a Model 3, after you've done a thorough check of the exterior, remember to check the interior. Check everything to make sure that it fits your needs. Bring a checklist. If you need a checklist, go to www.electricbuyers.com. All right, so that's all I gotta say. So thank you and have a nice day. Hey, would you like to win a Tesla Model 3? All you have to do is like, share, comment, and subscribe. And one lucky subscriber will win a Tesla Model 3.